Ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
On today's show, we're talking about what's the difference. Android versus iPhone. What's the difference between Wakanda Forever without Chadwick? What's the difference between men and women in restrooms? Today we're going to get into it. This is Every Woman.
Queens over here, and make no mistake in big things over here. Goddess in the flesh, you can tell by the smell of it. Every time I step in the room, it's an elephant. Woman.
Good morning. It is me and them. We back.
Okay, David Ruffin and this mother.
And
Tim and the other Every Woman.
And these are every ladies. I'm every woman.
And these is the ladies. Okay.
Nobody come to see you, Otis.
Okay.
Oh, that's that Android stuff.
It is.
Wow. Already.
Y'all coming real hard this one. Can we just first start by congratulating the women who were on the show with us last week for winning their races.
Congratulations, ladies. Very good.
Ms. Latrice McClendon came in first in her race with the most votes for Detroit Public School Board at 42,000. I think she had 42,000 votes.
Beautiful.
Yep. And Sharice Anderson also won. She was one of the 5 elected. She came in second with 64,000 votes.
Wow.
And Tanisha Yancey, she also won with the number one, counted votes. Because remember, we said it was a popular election, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she got 95,000 votes.
Wow.
Show up, Detroit.
Yep. Detroit had a much higher turnout rate than expected. It was like 33% of the population that showed up. And so that was amazing. That was amazing.
beautiful.
So, y'all
Work.
did that, Detroit. Good job.
Go ahead, D.
All right.
Go ahead, D.
Yep. So congratulations to those 3 ladies and all of the other individuals who won their races. There's still a runoff in Georgia that's happening, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Like today?
It probably won't be decided until sometime this week. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Holy
Between
cow.
Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. Yeah. Yeah. I think Georgia requires that you get 50% of the votes in order to secure your seat. And their race is so close, and there's still a lot of mail-in ballots that are being counted and things like that. So there's a runoff that's taking place this week for them.
Wow.
So Georgia, y'all better get back out there and vote for your people.
Yes,
Whoever you want to win.
Slightly sad that my shero, Stacey Abrams, did not get elected, but I really feel like the work that she's doing in Georgia is not in vain. I think that the history she's making is still really, really positive and powerful. And so hats off to that lady right there. Although she did not win, I still give my love and support to Madam Stacey Abrams.
I'm sure it won't be the last we see of her.
Oh, no.
I'm almost positive of it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. But check this out. That Powerball jackpot.
Ooh, man.
There was one winner, y'all.
I think that was a fluke.
It was one
I'm
winner
gonna
in
veg back on that. I
California.
agree with that, too.
You think so? Well, I mean, they did
I've
have that
heard-
whole delay
I
thing.
heard
Yeah, I
rumors.
think-
A lot. I don't
about
know
it.
how true this is, but I heard people saying like they had the winning numbers, and then it's rumored that numbers change. Did y'all hear anything like that?
No.
they-
I didn't hear that.
Pull the numbers the next day.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
some sort of glitch at the Lottery Commission where they could not do the drawing on the scheduled date and time, and those numbers did not come out until the following morning. Because they usually do it on Tuesday nights, right? Tuesday nights?
So it's Monday, Wednesday, and so it would have been.
It would have been Monday night.
would've been
Yeah.
Monday
So
night.
it didn't come out until Tuesday morning.
So where
Yeah.
is that money?
Fishy.
I don't
In
buy
my
that.
conspiracy theories.
So there's a
They
single
said
winner.
One, the security in every state had to be in place or something. Like that's what I was reading. Cause I played my numbers and I'm trying to see if my numbers. And I was reading, I was like, this something ain't right. But it was saying something about the security in every state had to be in place before they could draw the numbers or something. I'm like, and then somebody in California, and that's where y'all draw the numbers at?
With it being the largest jackpot, right? Like, you just, stuff got to be hitting on time, in my
It
opinion.
got to be
Yeah.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
because otherwise,
Yeah.
everything else look fishy.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now you got one winner, And in California, they cannot remain anonymous. They
Really?
cannot.
So when
have
are they
you
going to
heard
reveal who the person
this
is?
person is?
No, and it may not be right away either, because typically it takes some time for these people to come forward. So if the winning ticket is yours, Mr. or Mrs. California, and Yin,
California
Ian.
the first thing they recommend that you do is secure that ticket, put it away, like lock it up,
Absolutely.
and then go find yourself some legal and financial counsel.
I can see that.
And then once you've
Good
done
reasoning.
that, then you contact your state lottery commission to claim your winnings.
See, I barely knew how to play the internet. Oh, excuse me, the lottery. I don't know how to play none of it. I did do it though. I went to my local grocery store and the lady was very kind and helped me pick and tell me which ones to fill in and which ones to do. But it's even more important to know how to win the lottery because I never.
easy pick, baby.
She told I did an easy pick and I did my numbers, and my boyfriend's numbers and his mama birthday, and just tried. But I didn't even check the numbers until next day, and I was like, I'd rather be an unknown billionaire for a moment.
Yeah.
Just see how it go.
I mean, real talk.
Yeah.
You know, if you knew you won all that money, you cashing out, you getting several hundred millions. You ain't gonna be a billionaire, but you're gonna be pretty wealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
I'm
generational
relocating.
wealth.
I'm
This
relocating.
ain't life-changing wealth. This ain't
I'm
just
disappearing.
rich.
Yeah.
I'm disappearing.
But how much money was the actual cash out from that many billions? Wasn't it something?
929 from the 2 billion, and then you have to pay taxes on that. And then they said from that, like in April, when you have to do taxes again, you probably have to pay taxes again.
Oh, they gonna get that
So
piece of the pie.
929 million,
Wow.
and then before you get that 929, they gonna tax that.
Well, it's more than what I had.
This is why I can't win, because I'm going to catch me if you can. I'm out.
Oh, they gonna catch you before you get that check, so
Right.
you
Yeah.
ain't even gonna,
I'ma
you ain't
jump-
gonna
I'ma
get
jump.
away.
It's
You
like
gonna
that
get what's
payroll
left.
deposit. It's like that payroll deposit when you pay them, you know, the state and employment taxes,
They gonna
city
catch you
taxes. If
before
you
you-
live in a city that charge taxes, income.
Oh,
They
they
don't
triple
catch you.
tax themselves. Okay.
I hear California taxes, like income taxes, is ridiculous too.
I think it's kind of messed up that you
Not for me.
can't remain anonymous.
Right. It puts a lot of pressure on you
Yeah,
as an
it
individual
is.
with a lot of money.
And I'm wondering, I have so many questions even knowing that information now, because like, what if I'm in Cali and I buy a ticket? I'm not from Cali though, so like, do I have to remain anonymous or not? Like, I got questions now. Like,
That's a good question.
Learn to win the lottery.
right.
Well, you win it, get your winnings, and then you out.
Listen,
Yeah.
Because I will not be a California resident.
and
Period.
I'm gonna go buy me
I'm
an island somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna have to be able to fly to me to find me. Like,
Okay.
if you got it, you're gonna have to catch a plane
Wow.
and several boats.
I am going to. I would take care of neighborhoods.
Huh?
My inner city neighborhoods. First of all, I would do that
That is
for
very
sure.
lovely of you.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yes.
Lovely. I would do something with my family. Like, I could definitely see myself living in a big mansion with multiple family members. Not all of my family, sorry. But yeah. The select ones, like, we definitely about to all live together. And it's a lot
Everybody
of
gonna
things.
have their own wing.
Definitely, yeah. Own wings are imperative. And I'm gonna open an all cannabis restaurant / comedy club and daycare.
Here.
And daycare.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
I mean,
levels.
that might
Levels.
be important.
That
I
might
mean,
be
you
important.
you
Yeah.
and your kids taken care of, and they all in the same building. I mean,
I'm
might not be able to go wrong with that.
I'm gonna quote the Migos. RP Takeoff. You get the bag and fumble it. I get the bag and triple and double it. So I'm definitely investing that money because if
No,
I'm
that's
only
right.
getting a percentage of these billions, oh no. See, my vision is very clear here. We need to make sure those billions come back because that's the number I said I was gonna have. So we're gonna
Yeah.
figure out which stock markets to play and how make it, however the case may be. I love the idea of being an angel investor and really putting money back, like you
Yeah.
said, into the community, into people's grassroots ideas to really give them that opportunity to do something more. Really our problem in society sometimes is we just don't have the means. So I'm doubling my bag. I don't know about y'all.
No, that makes perfect sense, and that's why it would be important for you to go ahead and get that financial and legal advice to set it up. Because, like you said, exactly, if you don't get the $2 billion, you can absolutely turn it into $2 billion over time. So let's be clear.
Come on, bacon expert.
It's a couple hundred million.
Let's be clear. All right. So today we talking about what's the difference. Now we got a running joke here on the Every Woman show, because the majority of the folks who sit up here on this lovely desk and behind the cameras that make us look wonderful have iPhones.
Gang.
Whatever.
All day.
And only a select elite couple of us.
Oh, elite.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
we elite.
Oh, that's the word we're using today.
Oh,
Elite
thank you.
Hater.
have Androids. And so I be like, y'all, that's that iPhone shit. Because they be on some different stuff with these iPhones, right?
Absolutely.
Don't be
So-
mad at us.
So
High quality
here we
stuff.
go. Let's get into
Whatever.
it. The iPhone versus Android.
Boom.
Ding, ding, ding.
We're ready to rumble
The
because they
great
coming
debate.
out.
The great debate.
So I think the first thing, like, between this group of people is the transferring of photos and videos and things like that. Like, it's kind of a annoying thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know sometimes when I be trying to send y'all videos, if I send it to you via text, and apparently some of y'all even through Messenger, it come through grainy.
Yeah, it looked like you like filmed it on a
Yeah.
Ring cam or something. Like the Ring
When
cam
y'all
might
already
be
know
clearer than yours.
that this Android got the best picture quality,
Hello?
the
With the
best
camera.
video quality.
But
said
how
that?
does that help me
said
if
that?
when you send it to me, it looked like you took a picture
That's
on a
because
Polaroid?
that's your
Like,
ghetto phone. That's
so
what
would you
that
guys like
is.
some facts
my
now?
phone ain't ghetto.
Because Toy got facts. Let's go.
Because the reason that it actually comes out blurry is because iPhone tends to have videos at a higher quality. And when you send a video through multimedia messenger, MMS, it tends to compress the file. And so if you compress that file that's at already a lower quality even more, it's going to come through blurry. Like most Android phones tend to have pixels at 480 and 720 pixels versus the iPhone can go up to 1080, 1080 or 4K, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that a
4K.
point for iPhone?
Yeah. Ding ding.
I ain't know we was keeping score, but we outnumber here.
one
Ain't
iPhone,
nobody-
zero
I'm
Android.
all about fixing problems though, because you guys obviously have a problem.
Solutions.
So moving on to the next point.
thank you.
Let's talk about FaceTime
No.
versus Google
But no, for
Duo.
real, you can fix it though.
try
Simply
to go.
emailing the photo or the video, or using Dropbox will actually solve that problem.
Hmm.
For whatever reason, never mind. My Dropbox is full.
Man.
Everybody drop
Email,
off.
yeah,
Yes.
just do
Why?
email,
It's
just
probably
do
a reason
email.
why.
And I'm quite sure that I have a $19.99 charge every month or $9.99 charge every month for some sort of storage.
What?
Yes.
Girl, that is that Android shit.
There's also WeTransfer.com.
WeTransfer.
Oh, yeah,
WeTransfer
WeTransfer is
is
really
a
great,
good one.
especially
Yeah.
for big files. Like,
Yeah, WeTransfer, and then there's another one, SendSpace, I believe, is another really good one for large files. So if you're looking to send like something that's humongous, you can definitely do it that way, and you'll just get a link.
Yeah, don't send us no more blurry pictures, please.
I'm gonna keep my little, 4K
Remember
pictures
them
to
ni-
myself
Remember
on
those
my
1990
phone. So
video
don't ask me to take your
footages?
picture.
Don't be
I'ma
looking
keep
at
We
me.
know. Don't even worry about it.
You gonna miss it. Why?
You said, well,
We gonna miss it.
FaceTime and Duo, it's a video chat, period. Okay?
True.
So just let it go.
So the thing is though with
Let it
FaceTime
go.
and Duo, it's kind of like the great thing is that so with FaceTime, you can have like up to 32 people on your FaceTime with an iPhone. With Duo, you can have up to 12.
I'm not talking to that many people.
So-
Who is doing this?
I got one person I'm talking to
But,
at
but
one
for some
time.
people, it may actually work. But if all else fails, just use Zoom.
That's true.
Don't talk to her no more. You just cut off.
Don't do
But
that.
no,
Don't do
seriously,
that.
when
You
it
ain't
comes
Don't do that.
Well, defend it then, because I recall a phone conversation we had earlier, and your little phone dropped it, and you couldn't even hear
How much
nothing.
juice you got left?
No,
Why you in my
Where
phone?
was you at?
How much juice you got
Hold
left?
on.
What's your
Don't-
battery life
don't do
looking
that.
like?
Don't do that.
You know what's so
Like,
crazy
right.
about that
Thank
though?
you.
Like I will say
You want 100?
when it comes to
My
it,
first
yeah,
iPhone in 2013. And then I got the next one when I came home, and it was 2015. And the entire game changed. It wasn't, let's have a minute plan anymore. It was, let's have a data plan, you know? So I was a little confused, and thankfully I've grandfathered in through AT&T to where I had unlimited data, and I had to pay for my minutes.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've noticed, like, you know, I personally, even when I had my sidekick, it was like, I want to have, that's the one thing I'll treat myself to. The nicest piece of technology, because as a model, as someone who's in front of the camera, I need that quality and the latest technology so I can keep up with my career and you know, and keep up with doing things that everybody else is doing, sending files and carrying it forth.
They do make these phones so well now. I mean, they're water resistant. They're, in some instances, shock absorbing, shatterproof. You know, they're not cracking as much as they used to. So, you know, I might have this phone until the wheels fall off. The only reason I got a new phone before was because it wouldn't charge anymore. Like, I think it got damaged.
Right. And for me, my apps wouldn't like do what they were supposed to do. Like Instagram.
Your apps wasn't apping.
They wasn't napping at all. They was napping, okay? I had to wake them joints up because freaking Instagram, for example, became this really important tool for anyone in entertainment.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated with the technology of it. I started feeling, every time I go to post whatever it was I was posting, it was like, can't post. Retry. This, that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why not? Eventually, it came down to your software is just too slow, honey. Your phone ain't gonna do it. So you got to get a new phone.
I usually do every 2 years. Like or if it breaks, it just depends. If it breaks or 2 years, because sometimes like I'm very clumsy, and I've had situations where like I didn't have a case on or whatever the case may be. That was fun, but
whatever the case.
Accidental pun, but so
My
but
favorite.
it's like 2 to 3 years for me. So
Same here.
I won't be getting the iPhone 14 because I have the 13, and I got the 13 because someone broke my 12. So unfortunate, but so it worked perfectly fine.
Yeah, I have the 12, and I'm good with the 12.
It still but why are you so defensive?
Because you was about to say it still work.
That's a compliment.
Hold on, but
feisty
let's
today.
talk about the warranty service, etc. Like Apple Care is really, really good.
I like Apple Care.
Apple Care, they support you in their technology, and that I can appreciate. Because again,
Do you guys have
What y'all
Android
got
Care?
some G Care or something? What y'all got? Y'all got that?
I got replace it when I need it. Period.
I'm just asking the question.
Don't.
Why you guys so offensive?
So I was gonna ask.
Garcon.
Defensive.
Garcon. Check, please. Get high. Stop
Y'all got
here.
some G
Get high.
G
Stop
It's called
here.
G Care. What is it called?
I was gonna ask about the ISO updates that y'all have to do on y'all phones because
iOS.
whatever the updates y'all have to do. Like if your generation is too young, if it's an earlier generation, you are forced to get a new iPhone, right? Like isn't there a
After
point?
so long, yes, you are.
Yeah, you have to have say for instance, my mom had an iPhone 8. Like,
man, still
like
got
girl, why you got that dinosaur? Like that's like having.
You see
That's
your
what I got at the
your
house.
homegirl talking
The
about
little Wi-Fi.
why you still got a
it's like an
dinosaur. Ain't that what
My,
you just said?
my mother has an 8 still, and hers works perfectly fine for her. She's 72.
For her, yeah.
But
Like if
that
you're
ain't gonna work
65
for
and up,
Okay. Y'all gonna get in on this, or we moving on? Cause
What you
Well, we
trying to
I'm
say?
over this iPhone Android
Thank you.
conversation.
I
Let's
bet.
talk
'Cause you
about
need-
something else.
Please.
Well, go ahead. Move on.
Moving on.
We will anyway.
So we were having a conversation a few weeks ago about like men versus women, right? And I think the conversation came up because we were discussing the difference in what men's restrooms and women's restrooms were like. So I'll start by saying that as a little girl, when I was out with my father and the women's restroom had a line or whatever, he would be like, go ahead and go in the women's restroom. So there are women who use the men's restroom,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And also keeping in mind that we have transitioned into a society now where there are men and women's restrooms that are combined. Like I was in a hotel, and everybody went in the same place. You just had your own little stall behind the door because there are now people who identify as non-binary, and they're those options are becoming more available. Okay, but the cleanliness of it all.
Yikes.
Who nasty? Who more nasty, men or women?
Women.
Yeah.
We got more things to do
I
with.
said
That's
women.
true.
I said women.
Yeah.
We do have more things to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Got more
like
business in there.
women are more prone to leaving booty dirt on the toilet.
Booty
Who
dirt.
has
Yes.
booty? What woman you done ran across that got some booty dirt?
First of all, what woman you run across that don't
What is
squat?
going on? First of
Because
all,
this
that's
shit
number
in the
one.
So
public.
we gonna
That's
act
number
like it ain't no beer butters out there. Like
If she
beer
in the
butters
public,
exist.
she better not be sitting
They
there
are.
Yeah,
They
the
do.
beer
booty
butters
on no
is out there,
toilets.
beer button like a mug. Okay, they is out there. I done synced it.
That
Okay,
is disgusting.
That's
nasty.
spraying me that residue on the toilet.
What was you about to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was backing you on the whole squatting thing. Cause what?
I
they do that
squat,
at?
but I didn't sink some stuff.
Yeah, and if I see it, I'm going to the next stop.
I would be
'cause what I'm
embarrassed,
not
first of
gonna
all,
do-
because like, you know how people say like you treat a restroom like if a woman leaves a restroom nasty. I always hear females say things like, "I wonder how they home look because of how the bathroom
And that's
look."
true.
I think people are honestly nastier because it's not their home. Like me personally, like I hope that
Me
that's the
Personally,
that.
what you be doing
What you
that,
doing?
Opposite.
that you wouldn't do? Well,
It ain't me. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like some people don't take. You ever seen or heard of the instance where people don't take care of what's not theirs?
I think if I'm going out somewhere, I'm gonna leave it a little bit neater than I would at home.
That's you
Comfortable at
personally
home.
because you're a good person. But I feel like some people trash things because they're not. I've heard people say like, "Well, they supposed to clean it up. That's their job." Like you're trifling, but
Oh,
Okay.
that iPhone got a low battery.
First of all,
First of
we
all,
off
hold
that subject.
Wow.
We
Thank
off that
you.
subject. Don't do that.
Thank you.
Don't do
I was
that.
so busy looking
Don't
up
do that.
Android flaws that you know what I'm saying I dropped my phone.
She gonna be out of facts in a minute.
Why you all in my bed?
I think it's
About
agreeable
me.
to say, due to more business being handled in a woman's bathroom, that
Yeah.
there is likely to be a bit more disgusting, right?
Because our number one will turn into number 5.
So
What's a 5?
I'm not
What
in a
is
massive
that?
bathroom right now,
What is that?
but I do
Is that
believe,
coming out both ends?
Maybe depending on what club you at.
I'm confused.
I don't know much about club bathrooms like that.
I got.
They're nasty.
Hold on, we were at the movie theater yesterday, and
Oh.
I didn't go to the restroom. My husband went to the restroom, and he was like, as a matter of fact, what happened was we were exiting the theater, and I was like, whoa, what's that smell? And I looked back, and we was walking past the men's restroom. He's like, yeah, that men's restroom was, woo, nasty.
That was them
I'm one of those
nachos
females-
But
and
the theater
jalapenos.
itself was kind of disgusting.
That's what it was.
The theater itself was really, really nasty.
Well,
It was not well kept.
I have a confession because like if I have to go to the restroom and the women's restroom is full, I'm going to go to the men's.
Yep.
Especially
yeah.
if there's a man there with me and he's like there like, hey, you know, it's, because sometimes it's one stall, you know, or whatever. But I have been in a disgusting men's restroom before. Like it was terrible. Like I thought they peed on the walls. Like
They
it was-
probably did. They probably
I mean,
did. Because
bad.
another man's story that my husband shared with me, because we were talking about this before, you know, because I told him like we're gonna talk about this on the show, and he was like he went to you know how they had those porta johns, but we was at this really nice place. He was at this really nice place, and it was a fancy one, right? Like it was the outdoor kind. You walk up some stairs. They got faucets and whatever. I never been in the men's one, but he was like, this man who was behind me or in front of him, he was like, he was urinating all over everything. He was like, bro, you got one place to aim. He's like, it was getting
He
everywhere.
didn't understand the assignment.
Was he drunk?
I probably
He needed
it was a
Cheerios.
tailgate,
He
you know.
needed the Cheerios floating in the water.
But they
method.
they
to aim it.
had they had a little funnels. Don't they have little funnels in the
Oh
urinal?
yeah, those little
Not
things that look like a
always.
honeycomb and it's scented.
And it
don't
sits
think it's
in
bad.
the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I just thought it was nasty.
Women.
Your
I'm
whole
Can we-
sorry.
So
society
how
level
can
is
women do
off.
better? Is my question.
I got a coochie kit under the table. We can show 'em
First
what
of
to
all,
do
that
with
would help. actually.
A coochie kit.
Yeah, the coochie.
Because the
Coochie.
sanitary
Coochie.
disposal in the women's restroom can be a little disgusting.
Yeah.
Right. So not all women know how to properly
Dispose.
maybe don't know how to properly dispose of their sanitary supplies after
My
they
arm's
use them.
too short to reach it.
It's a box with God.
You,
Cut.
assistance, please.
It's right here.
It's right there.
Get the coochie kit.
So we got the what's your
The
word? The
cootenudie kit.
cootenudie
The
kit.
Kit.
It's a coot-nudie
Okay,
kit.
you gotta say that part again.
Keep going.
Because he was in the camera.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's a coot-nudie kit. Okay, so personally, I feel like all women, you should have this already anyway, because you don't know where you're gonna go, and in some cases, you might not want to leave the pad that is used behind. So if you have everything in a plastic bag already, you good to go.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I be thinking that somebody gonna come in behind me and get my DNA for some reason.
Now, I was gonna go there, but then I didn't want to go there.
I'm
Oh my
joking.
God. No, you're not.
So, okay, we all know how they normally look, right? So, if you open it,
Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear the snack paper rattling, that's what that is in the bathroom. We not eating snacks.
okay, there's that.
We ain't got none.
Okay, so look, y'all, it's so simple. You take it out. You know you had a wings. You take this part, rip it off. This goes around the panty. You put the panty, okay? And when you take it off, please fold it back together. Put the little sticky part back in the middle. Roll it down. Please put it back into the insert. Roll that down, and on the side of your toilet, in the stall, it's the little contraption. You pick it up, put it in there, close it down.
Well, what if it's not one in there? What if it's no brown paper bag in there?
Then you have this. You can take everything else out of the inside, put this in here, and take it with you. Seal it up, and you good to go. And then dispose of it.
Can I ask
Yeah,
It's
on
that
top of that, I
simple.
will wrap mine in toilet paper too. Just,
Yeah, I'm a
you know.
toilet paper
Yes.
wrapper because
Yeah.
I ain't keeping the wing together thingy and or the prepackaged stuff. Okay,
Look.
so I'm gonna ball that boy up.
Now,
and
what
take
y'all
that
do with
tissue.
these?
I don't wear them.
What
so
y'all
you
do
can-
with
you
these?
can
Because I
have
don't
them.
wear these.
I don't either.
So
Go
Oh.
ahead, Toy.
you are not supposed to flush tampons down the toilet.
Please say
Or
that for the
pads.
people in the back.
You
One
are
more
not
time.
supposed to flush tampons down the toilet. Don't disrespect someone's home like that. I know we talk about public restrooms, but don't disrespect somebody's home like that.
Both.
Some people don't care about public restrooms though.
Yeah, cotton
I'm
is
not-
not biodegradable.
I'm not saying me, but I'm being
In
real.
water.
I'm being real, y'all. Some people, those tampons get flushed.
Yeah.
They do. You are not supposed to flush tampons down the toilet. Just flat out, you're not.
I have some other suggestions for the Cootenute kit that may not have anything to do with your menstrual cycle, just day-to-day hygiene.
Yes.
Something. Now, see, that's a good point. There are washing
wash
daily
it.
is where you start. That's where before you leave the house, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you start. But in continuance of that, we have purses, and if the purse is, a good size, you can take a nice little shampoo bottle with just some water in it and rinse instead of use toilet paper. People went crazy about toilet paper, right? So that is technically not even necessary. In other countries, blah, 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 you can just rinse yourself off a little bit and do what you got to do, pat it dry, and you're good. And that gets rid of more germs than just wiping it with the regular piece of toilet paper.
So you made a good point because there was a Middle Eastern lady that I had worked with.
Yep.
And people used to always say, she nasty. She going in that bathroom with that cup. Her cootenudie was probably fresher than the chick who didn't go in there with the cup because you know what she was doing? Because I asked questions. I said, man, what are you doing with the cup? Okay, she told me. She's taking it, she's filling it up with water, and she's rinsing off every time she urinates.
Yep.
I did notice that when we were house shopping and we were in an area that was, predominantly from the folks who live in that area were predominantly Middle Eastern. That that hose y'all have on y'all's kitchen sink.
Yeah.
That the bathrooms had those. like next to the toilet. And I was so confused. I didn't know. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Listen, bidets are bidets for a reason.
So we some stanky booty Americans, huh?
Pretty much.
No,
Speak for yourself,
no,
baby.
No.
Just
No,
wipe
We
from the
all,
front to the
yeah,
back.
if you ain't got no baby wipes, we all stink.
And-
No, I'm playing.
Okay, you
But
don't
baby
want to
wipes
flush.
are important.
You
Though.
don't want to flush those either.
They make flushable wipes though.
but
like,
you don't want to flush them.
not the flushables.
You're not for real.
I flush the flushables.
Be careful.
Oh,
Be careful. I will. If you come to my house, do not flush no wipes, no of any sort down my toilet, please.
really?
Yes.
For my gentleman,
My
can
plumber
you
told me
please wipe your lemon pucker
The gooch.
till there's no more brown on the tissue?
Oh my God.
Please, it'll save your underwear and the smell.
We don't
Your
have a
booty
problem being
hole.
personal here on Every Woman. We are speaking to
The
every
lemon pucker. That's what it
body.
looked like.
This is the Every Woman show, but we speak to
bad.
everyone.
everybody.
Every lemon pucker too.
We thought we'd have a little fun today.
This is definitely a fun show.
Okay, so look. I found this survey, right? Okay. And it's basically about men and women's average traits. And
Okay.
I want to see if y'all
boy.
can get the percentages right of who is more likely to do this
something.
trait. Okay? All right,
Okay.
y'all ready?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Okay. Trait number 1. Honesty and morality.
Women.
That ain't even a question. That's a statement. What?
Who has the
Who
most
is-
honesty and
Who
morality?
more moral
Yes,
and honest?
the answer is either going to be you think it's men or women.
Men.
Moral and honest.
That's
I'm gonna say
I'm
men.
gonna say.
So we got a man,
I
we got a
wanna say
man,
I'm gonna say women. I'm
man,
gonna go
we
with
got a
women.
woman.
Woman.
Man.
Women.
So those of you who said men are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Men are 19% more honest and moral than women.
Yes.
You know some
You say
man watching this
brutally
right now.
honest.
Because, remember that time I asked you how many sex partners you had? And you said 3, and it was really 9, and it didn't count because you ain't put the tip in all the way. Yeah.
Don't spit your coffee out.
Well,
You need to cut your own pearls, okay?
no,
What Charlemagne used to say about
a
black
lady.
men
Wow.
being not cheaters and all this
Black
and
men
that.
don't cheat.
Some good coffee today.
Ooh, some good tea. Next question.
Every woman tea.
Next trait, physical attractiveness.
Wait, I need clarification.
What are you
Meaning
asking?
that man or that woman versus that man has the most physical attractiveness, or drawn
Care
to.
about more.
Men.
Do
But
men
when-
or women care about physical attractiveness more?
women.
Women.
Men.
Man,
Men care more.
So we split here in the studio.
Yeah,
Right?
men care
Right?
more.
Right?
I say man.
Okay. It's women. Women
Women?
are 24%
What? You know how many-
more. Yes.
You know how many ugly boyfriends I had? Like, no, I didn't agree.
24%. Okay.
Next one.
Financial success.
Women care
Women.
more. Wait, dang, that's tricky
Men.
because men care about their financial success. Like it could cause a whole self-esteem issue if
I'm gonna
they.
say men.
I'm gonna say
this
I'm
is
gonna say
hard.
men.
Men.
Yeah, men.
I need some elaboration on this question. I'm gonna say women. I mean, no, men. Men care more
Which
about their
one, girl?
Men care more about their financial success.
Sabrina?
Success.
You going with men or women?
That's a coin toss for me because there's so many thoughts. But I'll say women. Actually.
It's men.
Oh well, I'm wrong.
15% more with their financial success. Okay.
Mhm.
Ambition and leadership. Men or women?
Women.
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 It's definitely men.
Men.
It's
yeah.
10%
Wow.
more
Yeah,
in this
men
survey. Yep.
Yeah.
What's this survey from? What year?
Moving on. Intelligence.
Women. Are you
Care,
saying which
care
one's
about
more
intelligence.
care or are actually are?
Care about. What they care about, not
care.
what they are.
Care about. Okay, so care about
Women.
Women.
Women care about intelligence more than men. Yeah, you're right. It's 14%.
That's pretty
more.
obvious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strength.
Men.
Men.
You're right. 14% more. Competence.
Women.
Women.
Deep sigh.
Women.
I'm gonna say women too.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Men.
Okay. Audience.
Women.
Women is correct. 100%.
I need you to be competent, Holmes. Put my life in your hand. Anybody ever have a family member get married and you like, who in the world would...
Shout out to everybody who Googled competence.
You gotta really be ready to put your life in that person's hands. Seriously. So the competence is a big deal. Women, we not as vulnerable as we look. We fragile like bombs, okay? But still.
Ooh,
You like that?
I
Fragile
like
like
that
bombs?
one. Fragile like a bomb. I like that.
Handle with care. All right. Hard
to.
work.
Men.
Wait a minute.
Men.
Women.
Women.
Wait, you said men first.
I said men.
You said women? Women?
I said
Women.
men.
Men. Audience? Women. Survey says men. 9% more.
Care more about hard work? So a hard working woman is more likely to be pursued?
I guess in this world.
I mean, just listen to what I just said. A hard working woman is more likely to be pursued. All right.
I mean, that works for the dude who like to stay at home and play video games and eat food all day.
It does.
No, I don't want no
Hey,
stress. Okay. Moving on. Ability to multitask. Men or women?
Women.
Women.
19% more women. Empathy.
Women.
Women.
19% more. Loyalty.
Men.
Women.
It's men,
Men.
actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2% more.
Come on, we got ego. Talking about men.
They
Talking
care
about
loyalty.
To them. Oh,
exactly.
yeah, okay, men.
Exactly. Exactly. And it could be the simplest thing.
All
You ain't
right.
call me.
Black men don't cheat.
Where was you at? He was there.
We love you guys.
All right, being family oriented.
Women.
Women.
100%. And politeness.
Women.
Men.
Women.
Women.
Men.
Women for me.
We split. It's women.
Women.
Women care more about men being polite.
No, it's just in general,
They
like
care about
politeness.
being
Like,
polite.
yeah, men are have a tendency to be more frank and just like blunt.
Oh, well,
I
yeah.
don't know. I know
okay.
some pretty frank and blunt women, but
Yeah.
I've had a few boyfriends that I had was like, give me the phone, let me talk to this customer service
No,
person.
not true
'cause she was
that.
tripping, okay? Like, that's why T-Mobile cut your phone off. Hello.
well, that was a great discussion, ladies. So
that was
why don't we
fun.
take a quick break, and when we come back, we are gonna discuss the difference in Wakanda Forever without Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman. We'll be right back. And we're talking about the Wakanda Forever Black Panther movie. Wakanda Forever!
Wakanda Forever!
It just came out this past weekend. So I know some of us went to see it together. And let's talk about it. You know, how did y'all feel about it without Chadwick being a part of the movie?
I thought it was still an excellent movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did a great job of still including him
Mm-hmm.
in the movie, even though he physically was not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly, I was unsure of how they were going to incorporate that, because when you kill somebody off that's still alive in a show, somehow they make ghost appearances, right? Like they're still there.
Absolutely.
But you can't do that with him because he is gone. He is an ancestor officially, like in real life. I loved the dedication to him at the beginning. I was unclear how they were going to do that, and I saw that, and I was misty at the beginning, and I was misty at the end.
Yeah.
They got me both times.
Yeah.
Even at the beginning, when we were sitting in the theater together, when they were giving him his flowers, it was dead silence in the theater.
It was.
So it was really intense. It was beautiful.
I would say that there's not so often where you see someone who goes on to be with the ancestors in real life or in the movies that there's just like nothing but respect that's paid for that person, and the way Chadwick Boseman unfortunately went out, it's almost like he wasn't missing from the movie. He was absolutely present throughout that entire script, and it was a really beautiful movie to watch. Seriously, it was gorgeous to look at.
Yeah, he definitely had a profound impact, not only in that role, being the Black Panther and, bringing to the silver screen all of these Black super women, that was his guard that protected him. But even the queen and his, I don't know, was his fiance, his girlfriend, his old man? But she bad. She bad. Okay, she bad. She went in and got it.
Okay.
I loved how she infiltrated. It was good. So not to spoil the movie for any of you, but we about to talk about it. So fast forward if you don't want to see this part.
And pause now.
But I thought that they did a really good job in the beginning and the end. I didn't see a whole lot of him in the middle, which was fine. I didn't know where the movie was going, so. Well, I will say that held my attention too. I was like, where are they going with this movie? Because it's a Marvel. You just, you off of Endgame, Infinity War with Black Panther's appearance. Like, what they about to do with the Black Panther? Especially the world knowing that he's the one who's
I'd like to bring some attention to the history that was brought up in this particular movie, and it's interesting to me because being from Detroit, we are around a lot of Southerners that moved and migrated to the North. So we relate a lot more to that African-American history and slavery in Africa and everything else. This movie brought to the forefront more conversation about Latino history and the Mayans and different things of that nature. Now, if it was not for Every Woman, I would have waited and chilled and ate popcorn some months from now and decided to go to Wakanda. However, my sisters brought me out, and my actual sister, who saw the movie before me, was livid, so mad about the way they portrayed things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She told me to watch something before going to see it. I waited until after. John Leguizamo has a special called Latin History for Morons. And within this special, is filmed in 2018. You can check it out on Netflix. It's a one-man Broadway show, and he breaks down the entire Spanish conquistador conquest from Mexico all the way down through Peru and Chile, and all of the different the indigenous tribes. 33 million indigenous people. There was an entire Holocaust. We're talking Taino, Aztec, Mayan, Inca. 24 to 48 different troops, of different people that were completely exterminated, and they spoke to it. They couldn't beat them without germ warfare. And there's also a book, Guns, Germs, and Steel, that speak to how this even was able to happen for all this amazing, mighty empire to fall. My question is, with all of that information had, and we know that our brothers and sisters down in South America really do come from Africa like we do, why did Marvel decide that we needed to fight each other?
Exactly.
What was that about?
Man, let me tell you, that's the one thing about the movie that I did not like.
Yeah.
I did not like that they were pitting the two nations against each other.
Right. Because if anything, we're closer than people
Think.
Yeah. But the thing is, Marvel didn't go off of the true comic book script, because at the end of the day, it's a movie and they have to provide that level of entertainment to keep the viewers watching. Despite that negativity, Wakanda Forever, based on reviews, is the best Marvel movie of 2022 so far, you know. We're going to speak that into existence based on what I've seen so far.
Man, that movie was amazing.
So, you know, we know there's a lot of movies that come from comic books and biography books and different types of books where the depiction of the movie is totally different from the comic script, you know. So.
They don't get no passes from me. Marvel approved it. The book versus what they decided to actually do, because let's keep it real. Vibranium equals gold if we're talking about reality versus fiction, right? So we're talking about all the gold that was conquested, harvested, et cetera, and the genocide of these people. Somehow the U.S. wasn't the one who, I mean, it was interesting because it was a lot of conflict, right? You got the U.S. that's coming for Wakanda, and they're like, we don't know who these people are, et cetera, et cetera. That plot line just really was so divisive to me, and that was upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it at all. That's just my understanding on why they do it. So.
Yeah, I agree with that point. The opening scene though, where they had on the all white.
Yes.
So I prior to going to see the movie, I did watch a 2020 special with Robin Roberts, and she spoke with the costume designer. And this woman, Black woman, traveled the world, right? And she made sure that the depiction of the queen's headpiece and the shapes that were inside of the patterns that were in the clothing and everything was like true to the culture. And let's just say that dress that the ladies had on, what's the guard's name? I can never commit it to
think of her name.
all of them. They all had it. It was like an off the shoulder piece. I'm like, ooh wee, that's a bad dress. I'm gonna wear that to the next white party, okay? But she did an amazing job on the costumes. Can we just say that this Black woman costume designer did an amazing job on the costumes? Like, she did her homework.
Yeah.
And
And that's what really matters. Like,
I want to say that I want to give kudos because it really highlighted the whole STEM thing with young girls.
Yeah.
And that whole scientific math aspect of them, that they can and be successful in that arena. Like, it was really, really great to see young women being portrayed in that light.
women can be superheroes too.
That's what I was going to say. I love the
Superheroes
fact that the women are the
in their
warriors.
minds. Yeah. Because that whole aspect of using, you know, the girl using her mind to be able to do everything that she needed to do to help Wakanda and all that stuff. I mean, it was really, really amazing. What I would like to point out, though, is that it's funny because you said your sister was mad. My brother was mad, but he was mad for a different reason. He was mad because he felt like men were portrayed in a negative way
Really?
in the movie. His belief is that the men were seen as not being needed in the movie. Which that's not what the movie was about, of course.
Right.
But that's what he took from, is that the men were kind of taking a back seat, if you will.
And what's wrong
And
with that?
and
I'm
you
gonna
know
say
what?
poor men.
Nothing's wrong with it. I'm just giving that was his point of view. Like, I recorded, he had this whole conversation today with this guy, and I recorded the conversation, but that was his point. He was like, I just felt like men were being portrayed as they did not need.
And
we didn't need them.
Yeah, and that's not even necessarily true. Like, if you look at lions, for instance, the female lion goes out and she does the hunting. And the male lion, you know, he rules the kingdom. And it's not that the female lion doesn't need the male lion, but everybody got their role. And then one falls short, you know, the other one picks up. And it's as simple as that. It's, you know, I think he took it too personal.
I think he did too.
Did your brother see Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I
Because
think he's seen all the Marvel movies.
Because you do know in Wonder Woman in the Amazon, they will kick a man off an island. We don't need them there. We didn't need them. No, I'm not saying that we don't need. We absolutely need our men, and we love and adore and provide and give that love to our men. However, it's almost like, okay, not to be critical of his position, but my opinion in response to that is, it's okay to give us a little shine. Yeah. Every now and again, because I think, especially the way that Chadwick was reverenced, and then you have the other guy, the Monkey King, who was also right.
That was the point that he made. Was that even though they went to him a couple of times for his help.
M'Baku?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, M'Baku.
But at the same time, I think now with women in society, and they're saying that, hey, I'm strong. I can do this by myself. I don't need a man. And his belief, I'm just basing it off of the conversation, is that this is kind of what the movie portrayed.
Well, so in the movie, there was a scene with Shuni. Is that the sisters?
Shuri.
Listen, I don't commit names to memory. Okay. But there was a scene where M'Baku and Shuri were talking, and he said to her that your brother made me promise to give you guidance and be, your voice of reason and to talk you through some of the decisions that you were going to have to make. Yeah. So, the male voice is still made prevalent there. Right. I just think that, unfortunately, the kings had been killed off in the movie. And you have all these women, powerful women, ruling a kingdom.
And even when she...
Real quick, what would you expect to see in the next Black Panther movie?
That they're going to train the child.
Okay. Train up a child.
They're going to keep him a secret for a while because he needs protection at this point in his life. So they're going to keep him under wraps, and he's going to come out with that thigh out. He not about to play with him. and you know Auntie going to have him covered with the suits, all the technology. But then remember the gentleman who's undersea. What is his name? They call him
No Love.
His enemy name, and then his Kukala.
Okay, so remember he was drawing. So I look forward to seeing that
as well
in the next, because he's.
All right.
And that man is amazing.
Oh, he a beast.
Is super.
He a beast.
Human.
All right. Well, listen, we probably spoiled the whole movie for all of y'all, so sorry. Go watch it. Go see it anyway.
Sorry.
But when we come back, we've got a special guest interview spotlight when we return to the Every Woman Show. Stay tuned.
Sleep. They say sleep is the cousin of death. Ironically, you'll die without it. Driving around trying to find somewhere to sleep it's actually a challenge, because after researching, in most states, if not the states, the cities, sleeping in your car is actually illegal.
So we're back, and joining us now is Dean Beanz, who's also the executive producer, one of the executive producers of the Every Woman Show, but he does so much more. Lord. And right now, he has his podcast, Something From Nothin, that he's been filming. And so we want to welcome Dean to the show and talk to him about this podcast that he's doing. Hello.
It's actually not a podcast, though.
Is it not?
No, it's a web series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Web series.
But, podcast is like the iPod of MP3 players. They call all MP3 players an iPod. Yeah. So now whenever somebody's doing any kind of show, they just call it a podcast.
Yeah, really. People call the Every Woman Show a podcast.
And I'll be like, no, it's a talk show.
It's not. Period.
Yeah, so, it's a web series.
Do you not see our set?
So how's this journey been going for you? Tell for those who have not seen Something From Nothin, tell us what this journey is about.
So it's like I put a hard reset on my life. I gave up my apartment, gave away a lot of clothes, and I went to pretty much being homeless. And I'm going to start from the bottom and go to the top. So I'm trying to make something out of nothing and to show it in real time.
Okay. And so the purpose of this is to, what's the goal? What's your end game?
My end game is to live how I want to live. That's number one. I never really did want an apartment. I don't want to live like that. I'm like an RV kind of guy. So I want a sweet ass RV with the bed and the shower and live like that.
Where you put the golf cart underneath.
Yeah.
You can put a golf cart underneath the RV?
Yes, ma'am.
How about that?
Yeah. So that's the me part. For everybody else, I'm really into hustling, being an entrepreneur. And there's a lot of people that want to be an entrepreneur, but they can't because they're stuck in the lifestyle that America makes you have. So let's say you don't have kids, but you got these ambitions. Well, your rent is high, so your rent alone is your investment money.
It's true.
Average person spends $14,000-$15,000 a year. And tell me who can't start a business with $14,000-$15,000.
Right.
But because you feel like you have to have a roof over your head, you just have to have that you will spend your last dollar just to have that, and you can't move forward. You're stagnant. So
That's facts.
So I'm trying to show people, like, this is actually, you can find a comfortable way to do this, and you can take that money, you can invest it.
So where are you living if you are no longer in an apartment? Where do you
Car.
live? And how does that work?
Well, I don't want to spoil everything, but I found a lot of ways to live comfortably in your car, from mattresses to cookware that's powered by your cigarette lighter.
Okay.
I got a pot, an oven, and you plug it right in, put your meal prep
You
in.
cook in the car.
Yeah. You put your meal prep in there, you zip it up, plug it in, drive for about a half hour, you got a hot meal.
Okay.
So it's a lot of different things that, like, it's kind of, for me, I'm not saying that homelessness is an exciting thing, but doing this and learning these things are just exciting, all the way down to figuring out what kind of sleeping bag works.
But do you consider yourself homeless?
Do I have a house?
Technically, you kind of do.
You and homeless
Where?
is not.
It's on wheels.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
You
homeless,
made that your own.
But here's the thing, guys. Let's be clear that homelessness or being homeless is not necessarily the correct term. It's unhoused.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
they refer to it
Okay.
as the unhoused now. So if you don't have a house, you're unhoused. But to your point, do you feel homeless?
Well, in 1997, I was homeless, like on the streets.
Right.
I don't know what to do. I'm laying on the ground. I tried to panhandle. Somebody tried to treat me like a crackhead, and I was like, nope, I'm going to steal. So, and I ain't panhandling. Forget that. So, I got myself
Just
out
go
of
do a
that.
smash and grab, huh?
Hey, man, I did. Like, I remember I went to this particular department store, and I had these big, giant Tommy Hilfiger pants. When we wore real baggy pants, they was like way too big. And I would go and I would acquire
Borrow.
khakis and neckties and shirts, and I would clean myself up in the bathroom, and I would go and look for jobs. And I ended up
I
getting
think
a job.
that's stealing with a purpose, so it's not the same.
It's acquiring.
The acquiring with a
Yes,
purpose.
yes. So I was able to get myself out of that. So just from having that experience, I'm like, well, wow, what if I really was able to prepare for this? What could I really do then? And I feel like it's a lot of people who they're on the brink of losing their place. And well, if you're not going to be able to pay your rent, maybe you could take that little bit of money and prepare. And you can do this and find a way out and get to where you need to get, instead of being so stressed out that you don't have these four walls, that you don't spend no time in because you always at work.
So because definitely have lived from paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Definitely had to make the decision, well, do I pay my rent, my car note, my light bill, my cable bill, my cell phone bill? But I had to have a home. I needed those four walls because I had a family.
You got a family. So
it's a difference. I had to make it a priority. If
difference.
nothing else was getting paid, that rent and that car note was getting paid, so I could have some place to rest my head and some way to get back and forth to work.
Right.
So do you think that people are judging you because of the journey that you're on?
Absolutely. Well, I could say about 90% has been all positive.
Okay.
Okay, that's
People
good.
have been saying that they're very inspired, but every so often, like, somebody went on my Facebook page and just tried to let me have it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is not fun. You acting like it's a particular rap artist that we all knew. He's passed. He was on drugs, and he brought him up like the guy just wanted to do drugs. I'm like, no, he had a mental illness and he self-medicated. Don't compare me to that. He was saying that
Wow.
you need to have a place and you need to have food. I'm like, when the hell was I not eating?
Right.
What are you talking about?
So
I'm 250
I
pounds.
saw your
I'm eating.
episode. You bought a banana. You bought a pear. I saw you rinse it off. Like you
Yeah.
he buys food.
He goes to
Yeah.
the gym. He, and so
and he washes his ass.
unhoused does not
Oh.
necessarily equate to unfortunate, and
Yes.
especially in this particular situation.
Right.
And we're speaking about necessities and human need at this point versus things that we, what's the luxury versus what's the necessity. What are some of those things that you feel have been more like you didn't think it was going to be such a necessity and actually is a luxury?
Oh, man. The funniest thing, a freaking towel rack.
Yes.
A towel rack.
Because it has
You need a towel rack.
Like, I went to the gym, I showered, and your towel is wet. And I
Yeah.
was like, damn, where am I going to put this wet towel? And I was like, having a bathroom, your own bathroom, is such a luxury because something's just, if you don't have somewhere to put it in your towel, mildews is nasty. Now you got to buy another towel. So I had to figure out a way around that. So I don't have a wash rag anymore. I have, it's a rubber thing. You put your hand in and it has these rubber spikes that come out and it's like a rubber loofah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you use that, and then once you're done, the little dryer in the bathroom, you just dry it off real quick. No problem.
Problem
go.
solved.
Problem solved. Now my big towel, you can't do that. So I just alternate towels. So after I get out of the gym, I go to the storage unit. I hang the one I use, and I grab a new one,
Okay.
and I just switch them around.
Got
But yeah, towel racks messed me up, and and the luxury of having heat when you're not there. Because your lotion will freeze.
Okay.
Your soap will freeze.
So you got to get the shea lotion. You can't be messing.
Yeah.
You can't get the water lotion.
Yeah,
Wow.
so stuff like that you really got to think about, you know. So if you're going to do it, you need to get a storage unit that is temperature controlled. And that's where you leave stuff in. Don't just have everything in the car. Yeah.
So what is the savings between rent or a mortgage and
baby.
a storage unit?
Oh,
That's
baby.
what I was about-
Okay, my rent before I didn't renew the lease was actually my birthday, $11.75.
Wow.
Yeah, my rent was $11.75, and then my utilities was somewhere around like $45, $50 a
birthday.
month.
It is his birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All the cookies.
Happy birthday.
Anybody want to send Dean apple pies or oatmeal cookies? He is accepting it. Okay?
That's his
You can even
thing.
put them together. If you can make an apple pie with oatmeal raisin cookie crust,
Ooh.
Ooh.
See, that's some next level.
oh my
So
God.
let's
Cash
Cash
App
App is also
possible.
accepted.
Yeah,
Cash
yeah.
That's
App is also
possible.
accepted.
Yeah.
That's
but,
possible.
so $11.75, $45.50 for utilities, and then my cable was like $60, $70 a month. My storage unit is $160. My gym membership is $20. That's it.
Wow.
That's your monthly.
That's my monthly
Expenses.
expenses for living.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So
and
do
I
you
don't
think-
spend gas like I used to.
Do you think that since you've decided to publicly share this journey, have you had any relationships that have changed? Have you experienced any differences in relationships?
I wouldn't call it a relationship because me and this chick wasn't really cool like that. We didn't really know each other that well, but we knew of each other through music. She actually works at the gym. And when I walked in the first time, it was like, hey, how you doing? You still do music? Ooh, I'm like, yeah. I'm also doing this thing. He said, what is it? I kind of already playing here. Check my YouTube out. Go ahead. So I went back to the gym a couple times, didn't see her, but when I seen her again, I was like, hey. And she was like, And I was like,
Oh, she was judging.
I was like, wow. So when I was the guy that you felt, because, I put out people's albums and I exec produce a lot of stuff.
And you can still do that.
Yes, the first thing she said was, do I do music? So I know where her head was. You see what I'm saying? Well, she clearly didn't see the whole context. She just probably saw the first one where I said I'm giving up my apartment and was like, he's toast. And I don't get the same reaction from her at all every time I go in there.
I'll be honest with
loss.
you. If you hadn't shared the journey that you're on right now,
Yeah.
just the interactions that we have on a weekly basis, I would never have known.
No.
Nah, not at all.
There's absolutely no reason for me to believe that you are unhoused or
Yeah.
living in your car and have given up your apartment because you still present exactly the same.
And you will be surprised. You will walk around and you don't know how many people is doing the exact same thing. I know people with good jobs living in their car.
Yeah.
By
I met
choice?
a guy in
By
Cleveland
choice.
who's doing the same exact thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a minimalist?
I'm trying to be one, but I like sneakers and t-shirts.
Everybody got a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I like sneakers and t-shirts. You know, I gave away a lot of shoes. I gave away a lot of t-shirts, and I just bought some sneakers today.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, I want to treat myself. It was some shoes that I never had. I wanted when I was a kid, and I saw somebody selling a brand new pair on Facebook.
So has dating become difficult with being unhoused?
So, no. Have I been taking them? No. But women are still interested. And I guess this thing I'm doing, I mean, you gotta understand, in 2022, people's mindsets are different.
Yeah. Definitely.
So when they see an explanation, that's more interesting than the guy that just got a crib and he's doing he's like, oh, wow, he's doing something and I can see it on TV. It looks different. Because even when you look at it, it doesn't look like, it look like I got a camera crew.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's just me setting the camera up and doing the same thing 3 times.
See, you were just the ultimate hustler, okay? And getting to know you and understanding all of the various skill sets that you actually have, and a lot of people might not know, but like Dean has pieced this studio together brick by brick. Literally, the chairs, the pictures, the lights, everything in here. The desk is a huge deal. And on top of all of that, as an innovator that you are, you've come up with a kit for vlogging. I dare not just diminish it to podcasting. Vlogging, etc. So you're kind of you're taking this these suggested products and putting them into your own use and showing what can be done with it.
Yeah, so that is also a hustle too.
Absolutely.
Anybody know about the Amazon affiliate program?
Yes, I signed up for that.
Okay, so for those who don't know, watching TV, you get Amazon affiliate program. When you go on YouTube, don't worry about it. When you go on YouTube and you talk about these certain products, you're pretty much selling the products.
Yeah.
Well, you get the link from your affiliate account for that product, and you post it. And when somebody buys from that, you get paid for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So my thing is, everything that I do has to pay for itself. So the studio got to pay for itself. I started Ubering because my car got to pay for itself. You know, whatever it is I'm doing, it has to pay for itself, and I don't want to think about it. I called somebody up and said, hey man, I need a job real quick. I got to pay off this loan. He was like, all right, you got a job. So boom, I got a job to pay the loan off. Now let me go find something else. The studio, I don't have to be here for it to make money. I got somebody that works it. All I do is just make sure everything is good. So if people just get in that mindset of, I'm really going to make this money and make this thing happen, what they used to say, somebody would be like, all you gotta do is believe in yourself. I was like, that's some bullshit. That's how I used to feel. Like, give me the guts. Like, no, don't laugh, y'all, when I said that. Like, don't just tell me
what's in these cups today.
Okay.
I like it.
I know what's in my cup.
I used to be like, quit telling me to just believe in myself, because that's not giving me steps. Until it started to click. Like, oh, when you believe in yourself, you actually, your mindset is set to figure it out. Because there is no, it's not gonna happen. Like we was talking about Toy being a comedian, how she's doing a show every other day.
Period.
You know, and that's when she was in a good position, not in a good position. She was still finding a way to do it. No car, with a car. When your mind is set and you really believe that, then you go. So that's why I'm like, nah, to date, because I'm focused on what I'm trying to do.
How many hustles would you say you have?
Good question. I was gonna ask that.
Because he's like the ultimate hustler, y'all.
No, that was one that I
Listen,
wanted to
Dean
ask, but I have another one.
What's your follow-up question?
Well,
What is the greatest accomplishment that you've made thus far?
In my whole life?
Thus far. And then what's the parallel to that?
They just hit you with a couple of zingers.
You got whole 3 questions you gotta answer, Dean.
My greatest accomplishment has been, I'm gonna have to say, my life's dream, I did it earlier than I expected.
What's that?
My dream is to die in inspiration. And many people have told me that I don't have to die. I am one. So I was like, well, sweet. Because I wasn't ready no ways. But yeah, like at some point we got to realize that we are not here to just exist on this planet and work and make somebody else rich. We're here for a purpose. We're all supposed to be a contribution to this planet. And if you're not doing that, then you're not living your purpose. You don't even know what your purpose is. Is, all of these things we do for a living, yeah, that's part of it, but what are we giving back? So that's why I like doing stuff like this. I take people and I say, I see something in you. Let's go. And I try to catapult them as much as I can. That's how I give back. I take young people and I try to teach them a better way because I got locked up because I didn't know options. All I knew was you either go to college, play sports, or you a rapper, or you messed up. And so I did dumb stuff and I got locked up. It's so many different things that you can do. So that's for me, just being able to inspire people, that's the cream of the crop for me.
You said that on one of your episodes too of Something for Nothing. He had a clip of Every Woman on there, y'all. And he said, I seen something in each and every one of these ladies. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God. And it was just like, it was really dope to watch. I think that people will understand you and your journey more simply by watching that. Like people hear that you basically did quote unquote volunteer homelessness or unhousing.
Yeah.
But sometimes not knowing certain things or knowing the why will leave people confused and they come up with their own conclusions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think watching your web series is enlightening, it's motivational, and it's helpful because like you even gave some education on there talking about stocks.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite part. Like that was really interesting. That and the clean part. It was really it was really interesting. So I enjoyed those episodes.
So Toy, to your point of everything that he's doing with the Something for Nothing, what is it that you want people to gain or learn from watching Something from Nothing?
Strive to be happy. And happy is not defined by what somebody tell you happy is. It's by what you want to do.
Amen.
What makes you happy? What makes me happy is wandering. I like to wander. I like to stumble upon stuff. Can't do that in my house. I know what everything is.
So would you consider yourself like a wanderlust?
I don't even know the meaning of that word, but probably so.
So we are in Detroit, Michigan, aka Siberia, and that's something that really made me think. I love the sleeping bag episode. It's actually 2 episodes technically, and it's really interesting to me how you figure out a way to stay warm in all of this cold.
Yeah.
Like what's the secret to that?
Well, I observe a lot. Things have to make sense. Like we opened this studio right in the pandemic when nobody wanted to go anywhere because they felt like it was unsafe. But for some reason, people felt like it was safe to go to the doctor. Well, so my mind frame is, what is the doctors doing that we are not doing? And I went and figured it out. They constantly clean the air. What do you use to clean the air? UV lights. So we bought that stuff and we've been fine. So when it came to, okay, I'm gonna sleep in my car in Michigan winter. People go camping in the wintertime.
They do.
I was in the military. I remember it was cold and I was in that military sleeping bag with no clothes on and was warm.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I got an advantage because I got a car around me. I'm not sleeping on the ground. So let me just go and just try the same stuff, and see how it is. Not all sleeping bags are not the same.
Yeah, because I saw that episode when you didn't fit in one.
Yeah, one size does not fit all. I'm not a small guy.
Damn, it don't fit.
Man, look, I couldn't even zip it up. I just kind of pulled it over me and hoped for the best. And it was still warm. But, you got to try a sleeping bag out. You got to ask them, how cold can you get before you're uncomfortable.
Mhm.
So the one I got now, you can survive in 50 degrees below zero on the ground.
So what? Because like you had one episode about parking and sleeping,
Yes.
and that was interesting to me because I didn't know you can't sleep like in your car, random places.
Yeah.
So like, is that probably? Would you say like the second most difficult thing, or did you find a stationary place now?
Well, without giving stuff away, how you live your life is how hard things are going to be when you get challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I've helped out a lot of people. I can't tell you how many times people called me and said, "Man, you got a place to stay," and I'm like, "My mission is not to find a place to stay.
You want a place to park?
I just want to live how I want to live."
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? If you want to help me out, give me an opportunity, give me a hustle.
Okay.
Don't say I got a bed for you because I gave mine up.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't losing my apartment. I just said I don't want it no more.
And it wasn't that you couldn't afford it.
Yeah, when I couldn't afford it, I just didn't want it. So I got rid of everything. So, but like I said, people's mindset is like, you gotta have a house. You gotta have, as long as you got a roof over your head.
Technically, you do.
It could be
Technically, I do. Right.
Yeah.
I
So
keep looking at your face. How many different variations of color have you tried on this beard?
I have had various shades of blue. I've had purple. I did hot pink by accident, but I just wore it. I said, fuck it. I said the F word, sweet. I had burgundy. I haven't done orange or green yet.
Are you gonna try it?
St. Patty's Day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been stuck to blue for like 2 years now. I really like the blue.
You give me Papa Smurf vibes.
Yep. I've been called Papa Smurf before.
So, wrapping up,
Mm-hmm.
tell everyone if they haven't already. I know there's commercials. There've been commercials between some of our episodes, but
Yeah.
how can we watch your journey, support you? Where can we find something from nothing?
Something from Nothing is on every music channel. So we're trying to create a television network. So all of these shows we're developing is in the same place. You see Every Woman on Every Music. You see Something from Nothing on Every Music. You see Whole Ass Podcast. Working on a sports show called Ball Don't Lie. Everything's going to be here. Every Music, EVRY Music. But I do want to add this. I do want to have some kind of drive to buy sleeping bags for homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
We always buy them coats. They're laying on the ground. I was just in Toronto seeing a guy just lay, and it was cold. I was shivering walking down the street, and he was just laying on the ground. The ground is so cold. The ground itself will freeze you. Sleeping bags keep these people alive. So I really want to figure out a way to get people to donate, and I go to the place I went to get my sleeping bag and buy a bunch of sleeping bags and give people sleeping bags. Boom.
I love it. Well, Dean, thank you so much again. Happy birthday. Happy
I
birthday.
just turned 21.
Again.
Cheers to Dean.
Cheers to
Squirt,
Dean.
squirt.
Here's to
All right.
Ting.
All right, we'll be back. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Every Woman Show. It's been a great conversation with you ladies today.
Yes.
Join us next week when we'll be giving thanks. Till then, see you.
Peace.
Peace.
Boom. Good job.